What's going on, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kieran, and I used to help people with a spiritual perspective. I haven't made a video in a long time, so if you're watching this and you used to watch my videos, I've gotten fatter, probably gotten fatter. We all get fatter, usually. Some of us don't, but most people just get older and then they get fatter. It seems to be really a theme of life, is just the older that you get, the more that your body just keeps saying, oh my God, please kill me. And also stop eating chocolate. But I haven't stopped eating chocolate. I have a drawer right here full of chocolate. I'm gonna keep on eating chocolate. But I do miss getting time to sit down and talk to the 7 of you that watch these videos. I don't know. But I've taken a break, somewhat for personal reasons, also because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But either way, I have learned something in the time that I've been away, and I will start making more videos now because I finally have a new phone with more storage space, so I can actually make videos, which is good. Good for you, maybe, I don't know, but good for me, just to get stuff off my chest, probably. But in the time that I've been away, I have noticed or realized something about spirituality, which I thought would be good of me to share. And it would be this one single thing. Spirituality is a choice. It is ultimately something that you choose day in and day out. Now, I used to think that spirituality initially was an identity, right? I mean, you get this sense of things that you just belong to a community, and that community will help you and save you and give you purpose. But that identity, though, that community, those feelings, they tend to dissipate with difficulty. The more difficult that life gets, the more we tend to feel like we are disillusioned and isolated from the things that used to make us happy. So when the spiritual awakening happens, everybody tends to feel very enlightened. We all feel like we're a part of something. We feel like the things that we used to be a part of no longer help, and then these new things do, which is nice. But then we go through the same cycle with spirituality, and the things that used to make us happy no longer do. So, to be honest with you guys, and you know what? I used to have this YouTube channel in a totally different sense for doing different things, tarot, twin flames, and then it just tried to become a way of helping people. And then I took this break, whether it was a choice or not, and in that time that I've taken that break, I have realized, and what I'm going to be honest about, is that I haven't really given spirituality anything. In other words, I haven't really done anything. Now, occasionally I'll do a tarot reading for a client, and sometimes I'll see a crystal and I think, hey, that looks kind of pretty. Might like to have that at the back of my closet. But ultimately, I haven't really done anything for anybody, which is a difficult thing to say. I don't mean that I haven't helped anybody, or that in my own daily life I don't make people laugh or smile, or that I can't do anything nice, or that I'm not capable of doing anything nice. But in strict terms of what we think of spirituality, I haven't done a goddamn thing in months. Haven't made a YouTube video, haven't gone out of my way to help people, haven't seemed to embody what you might think is spirituality. I haven't done that. And I also reflected upon the videos that I made and how I would try to watch my appearance. Not just physical appearance. I mean, God knows my head is a giant square, but more about the appearance of what I say and how I say it, more of like an appearance of how you are perceived, more like. And I have to say that it's nonsense. It's all bullshit, and it doesn't matter anymore. For example, this is a spiritual YouTube channel. It's supposed to be. But what does that mean? What does it mean to be spiritual? What does it mean to help other people? What does it mean to give information to others? Are they going to listen? Will they listen to somebody like me who needs a haircut, who says fuck? Just right now, I just said fuck. And just there. Will they listen to someone who curses? Will they listen to someone who has a perspective that isn't all about twin flames and new age spirituality? Will they listen? Will anybody listen? And I don't know. During this time off, I've realized I don't know anything. I really don't know a single thing, actually. It turns out I'm rather useless. It turns out that most of us are useless, but I am too. So that's nice. Most of us are useless. Most of the people who give out spiritual information are useless in their own ways. They're also incredibly useful at times. But the ones that I resonate more and more with, and that I have always resonated with very deeply, have been the people that at some point or other has just come across like humans. Just regular people who haven't tried to be anything that they're not. And during the time that I've taken off these videos, I've realized that many times I've tried to be someone that I'm not. And the truth is that change is not necessarily about becoming somebody else. It's more about accepting who you are, and then the change maybe naturally and rather magically occurs. So times that I've given advice, maybe I shouldn't have. Times that I didn't give advice, maybe I should have. All just because acting natural would have been a better way of doing things. And it is a better way of doing things. And it leads me to this point of this video, which is that spirituality is, again, a choice. You have to choose it. Initially, we just are a part of a world and we think that it's all these steps and all these things that happen and the angel numbers are there and therefore everything's going to be great and all this is going to happen and it's going to make us happy and we're going to find that golden life. But it turns out there is no golden life because life isn't golden. So how can there be a golden life? And by that I mean life isn't perfect. So how can your life therefore be perfect? The dream life that you imagine when you become awakened or spiritual or enlightened, or when you just start thinking differently, maybe would be a nice way of saying it, an easier way of saying it. When all those perspectives are there and they change, you think everything's going to change and be amazing and it isn't. And when all those things are filling with your head, you just assume that it's all going to be great. And that it must be great. And it should be great. It should be great for you. Why can't you get everything that you want, right? What did you do wrong? Nothing really, but eventually life gets difficult. The journey gets difficult. The things that you want are difficult to get because they're new, they're different, they require something. I've spent the last 2 years being a tour guide. It's essentially stand-up comedy, but with history. I would never in my life imagine I would ever be in that position. And I can't imagine that my parents would have thought that either. So to do things that are new requires a great deal of courage in the face of a great deal of fear. And any personal change, however small, requires to some degree a lifestyle change, and it requires courage. It definitely requires courage. Even as something as simple as not having a drawer full of chocolate requires courage. So there are many days, many days that over the last few months I have chosen to not be courageous. In other words, I have chosen not to be spiritual. I have chosen to deny or not care about the things that used to be initially very interesting. And that's probably not even my fault, because a lot of the information, to be rather blunt, is not very interesting. Not after a while. You think enough, you see enough, you experience enough, and a lot of the information you can find about spirituality is, well, nothing new, nothing rapidly soul enhancing. I mean, nothing about crystals or twin flames has ever ultimately fixed me, if that makes sense. It's never helped me accept who I am. It just gives you pieces to things, but pieces, while important, do not equate the actions that are needed to put them into place. The actions that you must take to fill in a puzzle are ultimately your own. So you can get 1,000 pieces, but it's still up to you to actually put them into the puzzle. You have to do that. And I am almost convinced that a lot of spirituality is based on this premise that pieces are enough, that just having them available is somehow proof that you are spiritual and that you are enlightened and you are awakened and you can figure everything out and you deserve it all. But no, it requires choices. Difficult choices, sometimes easy choices. It doesn't really matter what kind of choices, it's just that they're there and you have to take them to create that picture. And if you don't, then all you have is information. That's it. That's all you have. And information's great, but eventually you got to do something with it. You have to, right? Like at school. You can go to school for 8 degrees. You could spend your whole life in school, really. But ultimately, at some point, you should probably get a job. And that's just a metaphor, right? So the idea is that, for me, just speaking from my experience, since I haven't made a video in a while, I haven't taken those pieces and put them into what I am envisioning is the puzzle. And you have to know what that puzzle is going to look like. This isn't supposed to be a goddamn mystery thing. You have to have an idea that you want a tree in the middle, which could represent God knows how many things. But you have to have some idea what you want. And if you don't know what you want, then do nothing. Right? Do nothing. Don't take blind actions. Right? Just do nothing. And a lot of spirituality is based on taking blind actions, just getting information, and not a lot of just sitting down with yourself and accepting that, you know what, I don't know what it is that I want. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I'm supposed to accept. I don't know what all this information means. And I don't know what to do. But I know that I can't just sit here with all these puzzle pieces and not put it together. Right? That's not spirituality. And so for me, not doing anything with it has now felt weird. Not weird because I think, oh well, I haven't talked about crystals in a while or soulmates, and so therefore I haven't done anything spiritual. That's yesteryear. I'm not interested in that anymore. What I mean is that it feels weird to not talk. It feels weird to not do this, because this is what I do. I talk. I'm an only child. Obviously I talk. I need attention. Give me attention. I need to be able to express myself. I need to be able to get things off my chest. I need to be able to do that in a way that's relatable. And if it helps people, then that would be ideal. But in my opinion, I deserve more than what I have. But that's based on the premise of how many pieces I have. I have a 1,000-piece puzzle before me. So in my mind, I think, well, this 1,000-piece puzzle, shit, I deserve something good for that. But if I don't put any of those pieces together, then it doesn't matter what I deserve. Spirituality, the universe, spirit guides, God, angels, doesn't matter what your concepts of this stuff is. They're not going to put that together for you. That's the point of the human experience. Turns out you can take actions. You have a body. You might have a good body. You could also have a body like this, which is sort of like if someone took a marshmallow and like a bunch of bread and sort of molded it into sort of like a human shaped thing. You could have a body like that, which is what I have. It's all right. I like bread. Marshmallows are fun. You also could be in a different body. But the point is you have arms and legs and you can take actions, and you have eyes and ears and a smell and a mouth and a tongue probably. And you can do things. And all those things can lead you towards that puzzle. But what you can't do is just assume that everything is going to fall into place for you. Every day has to be a choice, and you have to choose it. Meditation is a choice, right? Journaling is a choice. A diet is a choice. Getting up and exercising or stretching is a choice. Whatever you consider spirituality or lifestyle or healthy living is a choice. And it has to be made every day. And you have to make that choice in order to complete that puzzle. And when you complete that puzzle, a new fucking puzzle will present itself, and you can work on that, right? But it's one puzzle at a time until we die. That is life. But that is, of course, what makes life interesting, possibly. It's also what makes it stressful and difficult. But when in doubt, don't fall back on bad habits or lack of empathy, because it's easy. It's what I do. It's what I did last few months. You fall back into a habit of not caring. And you just assume, well, you know what, I'm awakened, so surely everything will work out. But things don't just work out. Things eventually work out. Different sentence. If you want things to work out now or in the near future, you have to do something about it. You have to take some actions. So, this bullshit that is my YouTube channel is revamped, so to speak, as someone who slightly accepts himself a little bit more as just the sarcastic, spiritual twat who will hopefully help people when they need it.